43 years ago, as a country, there was a decision made by the Supreme Court. A decision forever changed the structure of our families, forever changed a value within the country. Because you see, the values shifted 43 years ago, and it changed from there's a baby on the way to that family gets to choose if that's a baby or not. To literally be able to say, based on the preference of the mom, it's tissue or it's a baby. Because you handle those two things very, very different. Now, I can remember distinctly in my family 19 years ago plus now, when we saw that little line on the pregnancy test, and we started getting a house ready, and we started getting things organized, and we started trying to figure out how to get our finances in order and everything ready to go because there's a baby on the way. Because in those first moments, before my wife could even feel that she was pregnant, we found out that she was. And that was a child coming to our family. She has a name now. Her name's Hannah. And our first of our two daughters, between Hannah and Jordan, we understand full well how things started and what things were like in those earliest days. But it's remarkable to me that so much of the conversation now circles around preference. Because if at that moment we would know that if we don't do something right now to actually reach into the womb and take that child out of the womb, what Planned Parenthood and other folks would say just to remove the tissue, that if something wasn't done from that moment on, there was a baby coming. A baby that would look up in our face and would smile and would have a name. Americans have lost track of this basic thing. That's not tissue in the womb. When that pregnancy test comes up positive, that's a baby. Regardless of the preference of any individual, that's a baby on the way. Cells are dividing. For many, they don't find out for maybe a couple of months even. They begin to figure out something's really changing here, and they do a quick test, and sometimes by the time that they even do the test, there's a beating heart that's there. They look in with a sonogram and count 10 fingers, 10 toes. If you were to reach in and actually do a DNA test, you would find out that lump of tissue that's in there is not tissue. It has DNA, different than the mom, different than the dad. That's a child. And it's a unique life. And that life is not determined based on preference. That life is determined based on that dividing cells child with 10 fingers and toes.